Then I will always be like this. I will also be to ask Yes. It's about myself, right? The professor of molecular biology and genomics, and one of the deputy directors of the Institute of Genomics. Yeah, I coordinate research in human pathogen and also training capacity. I am also a lecturer at the university. I also teach molecular biology, microbiology, and chemistry. So I'm happy to have all of you around, and I'm hoping that end of the day, you all will not be eager to meet us. All right, you're welcome. Thank you very much for your time. It was a honor to have you and support this tribe. Then, in no other category, I will also be calling on the chief of staff. Please give us a very short introduction.
Yeah. Morning, everybody. I will also tell you about myself. My name is Aileen McLeod. I'm the chief of staff. My background is less of a scientific one. It's more in community health and public health. So I've worked in consulting, community health, and community engagement for the past decade plus, mostly based in West and Central Africa. I've been in Nigeria for 4 years, and I'm originally from the US. So welcome to you all. We're very happy.
Thank you, Haley. It was wonderful to have you around us. Also, to move forward, I would also like to call on the project manager, Dr. John.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see our beautiful faces. My name is Johnson Foley. I am a medical doctor, but I'm in charge of operations and also a grant and project manager. So it's good to see your faces, and I'm looking forward to the success of it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Joe and Dr. Johnson. I'm sure you've been around, you've seen how coordinated you premises, and some of you will be wondering, how are we able to achieve that? Yes, it was all done by a very brilliant man in the name of Mr. Michael. So I welcome the HR.
Good morning. Well, I'm Michael Wiese. I'm the HR of this institute, and I'm also the executive assistant to the director. I'm from Edo State, and I think so. I want to welcome everyone and wish you all the best as you come. You're welcome.
You can see it's not easy to have a double honor, left and right. Okay, I'm sure you've all heard about malaria, one infectious disease. There is someone trying to battle with it. You know that the terrorists.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Terence. I'm from Gabon, Central Africa. So as you said, I'm working on malaria, but specifically on vectors. So that's what we are trying to establish here. Be able to do research on vectors, also in the human part. So you are welcome, and I hope you will be able to enjoy this day. Just in case you come around, I must stop by now. Okay, I'll call on you guys because you met him already. I mean, just have to come back in because he has helped so much in this program. Now, formally, I'll call on Mr. Dad to come off stage and give us a welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I believe we are not strangers to one another. I am Okweyi Dai. I am a research associate here at this is the Genomics and Global Health, and I have training in biochemistry and biology. And I work on infectious pathogens, human sample, genomic epidemiology. I have been active in SARS-CoV-2 epidemiology, Lassa epidemiology, monkeypox epidemiology, both home and abroad, and say that. So it's a pleasure to have you guys around.
Person can stay here for some time. Can stay here. Turn it. Turn this to. Let it face here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Put it. What? Put it. But nobody should move.
Yeah, nobody.
You can have two. One can be holding, one can be recording from one is on the stage. If this one stable to be pointed, bit here to be seen everybody. Okay. Don't take it here. Say that.
Right.
And last but not least, among us is a very excellent person. The whole idea of that is being the one managing the whole process. I mean, you're seeing me, but there's someone just at the back room making sure everything works accordingly, fixing all plugs together and powering all light bulbs. In honor, I welcome Mr. Dio Infolani.
Thank you, Dr. The first thing I'd like to say, everyone knows what that means. The title, so it means Chief Information Technology Officer. But I'm trying to find out what it is. We can break it down. Chief Information Tech Innovation Officer. That's what that's the ITU. Thank you once again for having me. It's been a great pleasure to be with you guys in person after 2 weeks remote session. But I would like to just I know Professor Larry will do a lot of briefing regarding IPH and how people are seeing the cost study, how far we've been, and also do a bit of
sent some private fellow, which is from the prof, to the director that is currently able to attend in person because it's not currently here. But my simple duty here is just to congratulate everyone that has been to the on-site event and also to the other international students unable to make it but currently joining the system, who's not been holding remotely. It's going to be a great time. Just connect with us, try to maximize the experience and make it grand for yourself. Thank you once again.
Okay, just as Mr. Like, for those representing us internationally, it's directly. We are well represented. I'll be giving the floor to Aaron to give us the briefing and welcome orientation. Thank you very much.
Once again, you're welcome to ACEGID. This is an institute of Genomics and Global Health. And we used to African Center of Excellence for Genomics of Infectious Diseases till 2024, before we transited. And my duty here today is to tell us a brief history of the institute and where we actually started. But first of all, I would like to bring onto each and every one of us greetings from the director, Professor Christian Happy, who is actually the brain behind what you see here today, and then also what you will see in the future. He has been the one who actually had the vision, the mission of this institute today. He is currently unavoidably absent, presently in the US, but he is very much with us. He's following us, what we are doing, and he is very proud of you all. And he said I should extend his warm greetings to you. So I think he deserves a round of applause. So the center, as we know, or sorry, the institute is it started actually as a center, as a follow-up to the World Bank call, which came up in 2013. And the call was to be able to bring African institutions to speed and to be at the same level with other contemporaries. And during that call, the call was made to cover 3 thematic areas, and that is STEM, health, and agriculture. STEM, as you know, is science and technology. And then agriculture and health. And why did World Bank actually choose those 3 thematic areas? Those are key areas that affect virtually everybody. When you talk about health, it's very important to us, right? When you talk about agriculture, we're talking about what? Food security and safety. And then when you talk about STEM, which is science, it is a way to ensure that the whole system is working together. So as a follow-up to that call, which we did responded to, and we chose the thematic area, the area for health. And basically, we decided to use genomics as a tool to address the challenges that is facing us here in Africa and Nigeria. And the challenge that we are facing in the area of health is infectious disease. As you know, at least if we don't know anything before 2014, we now know that a lot is happening in the field of health. So in 2014, then we had Ebola, and I think everybody's attention moved towards that direction. So infectious diseases affect affects everybody, and there is no escape. However, one of the things we have noticed is that genomics seems to be working well for the people in the developed countries, and that's talking about America, Europe, and that has also changed the way we respond to health and any other challenges as it comes. However, Nigeria and other African countries and also other developing countries are lagging behind in that area. And so with the call from World Bank, we decided to go ahead and we can translate and we translate the knowledge, information that genomics has for us, so that we all can benefit from it. So that's what brought about the setting up of the African Center of Excellence for Genomics and Infectious Disease. During that time, other institutions also responded, and overall, there were 10 centers from Nigeria in the area of health, agriculture, and STEM as well. And then it also spread to other West African countries, and other centers in Cameroon, Senegal, and then some other West African countries. So that's how we kicked off. And our true test of excellence actually came in 2014 when Ebola struck. Prior to that time, we had a brief meeting with all of the partners of the center, and the partners of the centers include academic institutions like University of Ibadan, Université Sheikh Anta Diop, Senegal, University of Sierra Leone, and then outside Africa, we had Harvard University, Tulane University, and we all met. Then we were at the temporary site of the university, which within the redemption. We met during that time because then we've had reports of Ebola happening in Liberia and Guinea. And we told ourselves that infectious diseases don't need visa. How many of us have to do visa down here? None of us. But that infectious diseases don't need visa. You know what it is if you have to travel abroad or outside the country, you then need to get a visa. But one of the things we realized that these pathogens, they don't need to travel. They infect one individual, and then that individual will have to be the one to be the carrier of pathogen. And that if we are not careful and if we are not ready and prepared for this pathogen, it would soon sweep the whole region. And so immediately after that meeting, we started to look, okay, so what's the next thing to do? The next thing we told ourselves is that diagnosis is very, very key if we must contain this infection. And then we went on to say, okay, so how do we diagnose Ebola? And the story just continued. And then that was how we started. And within months, what happened? It came in like a storm, right? We had one visitor visiting Nigeria who got the visa, right? But not the pathogen. And then the story is as much as we know. But that was our true test of excellence, in the sense that we stood up to that responsibility. As much as a lot of people were trying to avoid it, but we stood up to that responsibility, because as soon as that sample for the index case was sent to us, we received it and we then processed it. Of course, when it tested positive at first, we did not want to create any false alarm, so it has to be tested again. And this was done by Professor Christian Happy himself, because as part of the development and then the process of establishing the center, one of the things we said to train people And so some of us actually were out of the country that going into genomics training. And so he was left with himself and another colleague. So they were the one that had to do the test. If he was here today, sure you would have enjoyed the story much better. So that was our test of excellence. And since then, the story has not been the same. There have been a lot of other challenges in terms of outbreaks and epidemics. And then, of course, we had, after Ebola, we had, what else came? Yellow fever came, monkeypox, which we're still battling. And then after then, the already SARS-CoV-2, which actually grounded the whole, right? And same story also happened. The index case sample was sent to us. A colleague of ours had to go and receive it at the Ibadan airport and carried it physically, and he brought it to the lab and then we tested. So that's how it has been, that's how the journey has been. However, what makes us actually be able to do all of this is because as at then, our mission was in twofold. One is in capacity building, and then the second is in research. And we found out that there is a link between these two. Capacity building, you train people to do certain things. So in this case, we're training young African scientists like you, that you are seated here today, to be able to use genomics as a tool to address the challenges of infectious disease. And in you, to be able to actually use this tool, then it means that you also now need to do research. And that's why we have that two legs of ACEGID there coming together and being able to create a center whereby we have scientists, which you have been meeting the last 2 weeks, who are actually doing beautiful work that must have been reading about us. So, with respect to the capacity building, what we have been doing is to keep training, training, and training. And so we started with different kind of training, like short course, train young scientists on molecular biology for disease diagnosis, bioinformatics, next generation sequencing, and what have you, malaria training, malaria diagnosis, and then many more. And not only did we stop there, we also developed a curriculum at master's and PhD level, where we developed curriculums for 2 different programs, molecular biology and genomics, and then bioinformatics at master's and PhD at the university. And these 2 programs are accredited by the NUC, as well as also had international accreditation by the AQAS, which is the European accrediting body. And these 2 programs started, they've been running now for about 6-7 years. We are having graduates at those levels. With respect to research, we have been able to do research covering 3 main areas that we know that is a major challenge when it comes to infectious diagnosis, therapy, and then vaccination. But most importantly, we believe that diagnosis is very key if you must contain any disease. Once you miss the detection, then you end up having a very bad case that will not be able to manage at the end of the day. So, as you see, in the case of Nigeria during Ebola, we had 20 positive cases. And what actually helped with that was the fact that we could do the diagnosis early enough and then swing on to action when it comes to management. And so some of our research has been carrying out effective and prompt diagnosis of this, as they come, and that is by using molecular detection technique. We use PCR, we go as far as next generation sequence. So I'll tell you the story of how we were able to use the next generation sequencing to detect yellow fever then. So there was an outbreak in Edo State, and they were tested for, the samples were taken through PCR for Ebola, for Lassa, and also for monkeypox, but they all came back negative. So everybody became confused. What actually is happening, we all don't know. And so the samples were sent to us, and we then use our next generation sequencing platform that we have to do the sequencing. And we were able to now narrow down that actually what is causing the outbreak and killing the participants that time was the yellow fever virus that was circulating within that period. And that was in 2017. And during that time, Nigeria was supposed to be free of the yellow fever. And so the first thing we did was notify NCDC, and then went on to the community, and then started to vaccinate the community again, at least to be able to manage the disease. But we did not only stop at being able to identify what is the pathogen, we also now try to look at how come Nigeria is supposed to be free of yellow fever, what exactly is going on. And so we then did some other computational based analysis, which is one of the things that you guys are here to do. And then we did like phylogenetic analysis to be able to actually understand the origin and the interrelationship between what used to be in existence and what we have now. And that gave us some other information with respect to the fact that this particular yellow fever strain is closely related to a strain that was identified in Senegal. And then we started wondering what exactly is going on. If this people travel to Senegal, got infected from there, then these guys are not a lot of people. So that also gave us some concern. However, one of the things we noticed was the fact that we didn't have data. So there was no data in the data bank to be able to compare the present infection, what we had in store. And the latest that the data bank is 17, trust that the virus, being very smart, have mutated, changed its form many times. So these are some of the research that we, and of course, going forward, after then, COVID came. Apart from us doing the diagnosis, actively involved, covering all of the southwest Nigeria, we also sequenced samples from the entire country, as well as other countries, including Liberia, Sierra Leone, Sudan, Egypt, Algeria, and mostly covering all of the African region. And what we do also, in terms of sequencing these samples, we're not only just sequencing it for them, but then we use that opportunity also to empower us as Africans. You come here, you get trained, come with your sample, and you will also be involved in the sequencing. So for all of the times that we were doing all of the sequencing from outside the country, we were also using that opportunity to train them, because we do know that these are going to be frontline health workers in case of any other pandemic or outbreak. And so that's how the journey has been. And so far, we have been able to train over 3,000 scientists, and these scientists range from students at master's level, PhD, and also for short courses where we train frontline health workers, including public health scientists, researchers, and also students that may need this kind of training for their research that they are doing. And aside of that, we have also been able to establish molecular biology labs at 3 different sites in the country. For now, we have one at Ikoyi General Hospital, we have one at Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital in Abakaliki State, and also Ira Specialist Teaching Hospital in State. We are hoping that before the end of the year or early next year, we would also be expanding price. And aside of that done within the country, we have also expanded beyond the country, where we have established laboratories in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Cameroon, because that's our mandate, build capacity. So aside of inviting people here, we also go to each of these countries to do training. So some of the scientists that we have met here have been involved in great work that we're doing. They train people here. They also go to these countries and also train them and help them to establish their laboratory. So far, that's how we have been going. We are hoping that we'll keep growing, and you are also joining our 3,000 plus list of trainees. And just and get the best out of this. And from the film I see, I don't know why Dayo used to give me t-shirts. You don't give me my t-shirts. You don't want me to be part of it. Even though bioinformatics and computer doesn't seem to be my best of friend, but I'd like to be part of the team and get the little I can get, because I keep praying, going in. So I think I deserve a t-shirt.
Yes, you know.
Congratulations to all of us for being here, making it up to this point. And then we hope that at the end of this week, it shall be a memory for us. And one of the things I see is that you are rewriting DNA education. How many of us are actually into science, life sciences? And how many of us actually enjoy the classes when we're talking about DNA structure? You do. You do. And then things have changed. Because during my time, I would just be there waiting for the lecturer to do. It just never made sense. But one of the things that you are here to do is to create a different ways by which DNA science is being taught to make it more attractive. I must tell you that it's not the first time we're doing something like this. We've had cases of where we had secondary school students come here and have like a day with us. So they come here in the morning and then we take them through the lab setting and they enjoy themselves, and they don't want to go. Why are we doing this? We're looking at the future, preparing people, stimulating interest in them so that they all get interested in genomics. So I'm hoping that at the end of the day, I teach basic molecular biology at the university. I also then teach advanced molecular biology, also at the university at both undergraduate and postgraduate level. So I'm hoping that the output of this will really make me to be able to teach these topics in a much better way, so such that the students are stimulated and then they will understand even beyond us what we are teaching. So I congratulate you once again, and I wish you all the best as we go forward.
We sincerely appreciate for the time, for the wonderful presentation. In all that was said, covers from the top of the iceberg to the bottom. Now, your words are set right, and it creates the right impact for the participant and the actors. Now, see where we get to the next stage. Like she has said, we want us to take advantage of this opportunity. Now, in the next 2-3 years, we want to hear of you from international recognitions. Let's give a minute. For right after this welcome invitation, going to talk, before we do that, I want to formally give every one of us the opportunity to look ourselves and talk about how you heard of the hackathon, what motivated you, when you registered, what was your impression, and how is it going? And how is it going now? I mean, we asked a lot of people want to see a real lab, genomics, a real working genomics lab. We are getting there. And okay, I don't know if that to start from, but before we begin, there are other important places among which I didn't get the opportunity. So I'll be calling on Dr. Shola to come just give us a introduction.
Good morning, everyone. And like I said, my name is Brother Officer. I'm a veterinarian, and I find myself to be in research person for One Health research surveillance. My primary work here is just like I work within the intersection of fields as sample collections of animals and other activities, and I also come to work on those samples that have been collected, right? So, and also some form of analysis just to see what's going on, whatever we are going to have. Then I want to welcome everyone and to say congratulations for you guys making this up this time, and I wish you the best of the day.
With us as well is Dr. Shiju. Please, Dr. Shiju, we are welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I am Shiju ACEGID.
ACEGID.
Maybe if you want to be called, I can call me Ayotune Shiju. I am the project coordinator of One Health Research and Innovative Disease Surveillance. It's one of the centers in this institute. And I also told the line with my colleague, Dr. Shola. We work from end to end, from collecting samples of the field, to analyzing it in the lab, and maybe some write-off and some little things like that. I also add management of those projects in our centers too. The little things like that. So that's why I am. If you fall within my group, you will enjoy it.
Just after before we going. Okay. Joining us at this very moment, also, Dr. George. Dr. George. Sorry, I wasn't expected to be called off guard. Well, good morning, everyone. Okay, so my name is Wayne George. I work with viruses. I love viruses so much, and something else I need to add. So I am also a postdoctoral fellow here. I had my background was in microbiology, virology, and then molecular biology. So I am That's all right for now. So I'm three times talk more. And I'm also looking forward to learning from you, right? And then because I mean, team is together, everybody, right? So we're gonna learn together and grow together. As you can tell, everyone here is important. We are all important, we are all winning. Or there's a first winner and there's a second winner. Which would you want to be? It's up to you. Late 2019 stroke 2020, a devastating virus in the world. We all know it's COVID-19, right? So it made us realize we're not well prepared enough in this sentence. Just a few medical practitioners were able to spring up to action when it struck the world. And ever since then, we begin to ask, how prepared are we for the next one? Not like we are necessarily expecting everyone to come, but should it come, are we prepared? Who is going to fight it? And how do we fight it? Do we leave it to the medical practitioner, or we also contribute? And how well do we contribute? As a technologist, we created a graph simulation to help other practitioners or medical enthusiasts to learn easy and faster. That is our contribution. What is going to be your contribution? How do you help protecting the world in general? So, in no order, I'll start calling our hackers come forward and tell us how they heard about the hackathon, what they feel about it, their impression when it started, their impression when they got here, and how they hope to protect the world from infectious disease. So,
so when you speak time when I used to and I actually came across ACEGID when I got into the so I was very curious. And I saw that happen this time around. Then I couldn't just try. But yeah, I have experience. So wonderful. It's wonderful people. Well, I'm so interested in this side. Thank you.
okay. University represents where you studying? Forensic.
Okay, so I'm studying microbiology. I will study microbiology.
Thank you.
So, my name is Sean Koyayembi, and I'm a physiology student from the University of Ladokia University. And concerning the hackathon, I was from my no, okay, I had a program. I saw it on my IT page where I'm currently humanity at Eds Bounty. So a staff of us posted on our WhatsApp group. So, and I saw that something and just apply for it. And first of all, me applying was not to me actually. I just want to play. And I was surprised when I was that they have to cry. My roommate was like, don't cry. I mean, I hope that I'm hoping to learn.
Hi everyone, my name is Bimdi Palo. So from the Federal University of Korea, studying computer science. I think IG has been my dream, just hearing about it. There are two professors in Nigeria that I really follow as your mentor. I don't know the names. But then I think Professor Adirunu at OEU and then Professor Happy. So I've heard a lot about them. So Professor Dero moved into yes, ICT and environmental health, while Professor Happy into environmental essentially. So I have been trying to look for a way to collaborate with the institute. So when I can't remember, I just saw it somewhere from WhatsApp, I thereabout. I think a friend was flying it maybe on his status. Yeah, it is that even that my friend put in for it, but then all of a sudden he just did not put his effort and everything. So they will call his name, he will not be there. He will call my name, I will present in attendance and everything. And to God with the glory, I am here. So it's a dream come true for me. So I really want to appreciate you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Francisca Mbawasi. I'm a fourth-year environment student, and I'm currently acting doing my internship at the Group General Hospital. So I'm definitely going to do it around. So I had about happened from Isaiah. He actually said something to me less than 15 minutes into my first conversation with him. So I have him to thank for that. My impression about it. Very, very intense. I'll be at my workplace and moving around with my phone, and my colleagues will be like, "What are you doing?" And it's been very enjoyable. I've had the most fun with my team members and all of that. For my expectations, I think the first thing that came to mind when I saw the concept to me is how much I'll get to learn, the people I'll get to meet. I'm interested in research science and health informatics. That's where I want to focus my career. And the first thing I thought about was if I get to make it on site, I would most likely meet people that are actually in the field, people that are doing a lot more. I'll get a lot more career clarity. I'll get guidance from this field. And that's the most important thing to me. I mean, winning is that's the most important thing to me. So thank you very much. Hi. First of all, praise the Lord. First, so at first I was like, okay, let me just give it a try. Okay, I studied at Trinity. I was like, okay, let me give this a try. So during the remote phase, there were so many times I was just because it was so hectic. Or if there's anything remote phase was precision, patience, and respect for the process because it was hectic and there are so many people that would have dropped out. But being patient actually pays off. There's anything I like for that process. And honestly, getting here is going to be hectic. This just looks almost like a cartoon. Yeah, but also futuristic at the same time. So yesterday I slept very well. Almost missed what's coming because I got very comfortable. So yes, the hackathon combines interesting concepts, AI and genomics, which are interesting to me. Looking forward to seeing how this technology can use to improve. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ikaro Seli. I graduated I've been studying university in Edo State as a medical lab science, but yet to get my license due to some delays in the professional exams. So I heard about the hackathon through a friend that studied at the same university. So more also a mentor in the program. So when he sent the link to me, I was like, the scientists are going to be involved and we needed a blender artist that also specialized in. But like this is like two in one for blender artist and also a scientist. Like exciting to actually try. But yet I'm still trying to figure out how to balance the two. So ever since that's been exciting for me and I'm glad to be here and I'm really, really grateful to be here. Really very, very powerful for me. Like waking up this morning and saying that wow, we are reading it. I think for me, right from when I was private, before I got to this, I always wanted to be involved in science and tech. I was even there was something I was like, they were asking me what to be a new robotics. And to me, I just wanted to fuse science and tech together. I just wanted to. And getting to the university, finding myself from chemistry, so I wanted to study medicine. I wanted to be I wanted to study medicine. And ever since, there's just the way at which the university has helped. Like I said, it didn't give me the experience I wanted. So I felt like just something that was lost because my part one, sorry, I think about from university, finance network graduate, just wrapping up my project, for chemistry and cloud for some study. And from my part one to my part two, so just as if what they were teaching us exactly what to understand. So it was just a really good job. And then I thank God for a friend who's even here today. And then we just started looking up for universities, and I came across ABTG, Advanced Genomics and Functional Medicine. There's this program in San Diego, and they do it every single year. And my friend, who is here today, I'm really happy to see, and we always look up for videos. And that was actually what gave us the understanding. And I feel like what we need in Africa is we need enlightenment, and that we don't know what to do because we don't know what happened. And the experience I've got for that, it just gave me passion for genomics, even outside the forward department, outside the forward school. And ever since that time, I was always looking forward to make advances and think of the lecturer that I met. Because there was that general perspective that we had to our lecturer that we're not really easy, and these were really the ones that we had. I thank God for him, so pushing me. And then since my party, it just became very serious. And my classmates were like, why? Because they didn't really see what I was saying. Because they were like, why are you so stopping yourself this and that? I always, and I, because of the way my department was, they were not really doing things. So I started like research film and really connected. So we didn't do so much. Just read us looking at. And there was this book I read, Papa's Illustrated Chemistry, HPD. And it's really, really blew my mind that, oh, you didn't get medicine, you can still do something in space of health. And I saw that, and I saw that because I have like a personality that I like to always solve problems, I like to always find ideas, and which is a field I have in drug design, which also makes also come to this hackathon, not just as a scientist, but a drug designer. And I'm really grateful. I wanted to come for secrets in my party. I was always told my lecturer that this is something that's supposed to do, but they're like, I could take things. I was so disappointed that why. So I got my internship here at CC, right? I'm professor at Ames College. And that experience has actually also helped me. And every single time I try to look up for genomics. And why I want to actually genomics and immunology. Genomics. This is very awesome. Thank you very much.
Morning, everyone. My name is Vicky. I'm from Akui. Then the next is came here as so everybody will take them. So myself and my friend, they went. We generally never put our minds together. The first week for me, second week was more. Then after I was like, I need to quit. We don't want to do this again, blah, 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 like that. But I'm so happy that I cannot quit. Yeah. So I would personally like to go into, and I'm also interested. So how I would like how I use this opportunity. Me personally, I would like to kind of understand how it evolved, merge it.
Morning, everyone. I'm Ade Emotion, and I was still studying anatomy, and how did I hear about it? Person came on top to actually, and I was actually yeah, and then I studied it really, and I was very interested, and I made sure that I registered and set up, applied for the program, gave me. So I did, and I was hoping to get there. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity because I'm really excited to the fact that the OMC was amazing and thank you for it. It's really good to me and I'm glad that thank you. So I would like to thank the sponsors and the directors, everybody. Yes.
My name is Lawal Tesnisokwe. I'm a graduate of knowledge from the University of Ibadan. I am an XR conservationist. I'm interested in future of extended humanity and telling stories to promote conservation and wildlife advocacy, especially for farm. I got into zoology because I wanted to do genomics, but along the way, conservation stole my heart. I'm so interested in the fact that genomics can be applied to anything. From my works with Professor K. Olajumoke, who is the head of family conservation. We do a lot of things around pathology and for Mongolian research. So now, but what I want to do is probably how to tell cinematic stories with extended reality for Mongolian and wildlife conservation. But being here, it's opened my mind to possibilities of how probably even use scientific stimulations and also how to blend everything with my extra conservation.
So I'm really glad to be here. I got to hear about it from my brother. I mean, it's so crazy about this with Daniel Alex. And we met at my lecturer council, and he sent it to me that we have to have, even before then, they are setting up a VR lab, blah, 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 blah. And then as this came out, we have to apply. Have you applied, blah, 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 and then I applied, put in the whole energy, we wanted to be in the same team. Faith got us, but I'm really glad that we are here today in my place, and then we are doing. Thank you so much.
I didn't think about it. My colleagues studied from the University of London. So I'm really talk about my story. So this is my secondary school junior. And I'm sure it's wondering, I've changed, right? So shortly after I left school, I was diagnosed with mental illness. And I was in next year. So, so when I was done with the so that is as a result of virus or bacteria. So mine was virus. But it took them 2 days. I felt someone to them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then sorry. Alright, so because of that, I went to perform so during my stay in the hospital, I saw this with itself, how people found me, and they then try and draw, trying to get up to me. And I saw many people died. And that was the genesis for me. Why I constantly because after then, it depends something I had out. What happened is one kind decide because at that point I almost lost my life and I saw a lot of people. And that's what changed in action. Myself, I said the complete stuff of proposition out. And it didn't matter about advancing measurements in starting experience. So that's really why I'm here. I think I'm the following IGH in 2022. I'm always my updated knowledge sense, update and trends and all. So I want to know that the system, and I used to also I said I was actually thinking that I'm interested in this one. How can I get past right? So when I saw this opportunity, an opportunity for me, and I know I was interested. I have to be there. I'm glad that
Yeah, I'm my third year in university. So basically, I was actually a friend. Pretty much. When he said it, this same issue that when I started this book, very, very much, and I didn't know how to apply this. I was like, when I saw that, as at that time, I've never done and I almost left for because when I was getting too much, but my captain was the one that actually managed this one. And we did our work together, and I feel so blessed to be here. Thank you.
My name is Awale Samani. I did the chemist. Also, part of the test. But I mean, as a 2D artist and artist. Let's know about it. Is it stuff? But on the weekend, I do I'll be so in the morning I was mostly people do not understand. And and we want him where? I don't even I was like, no, I have to sit. I have not like this one. Also, I was not.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to be here today. My name is Manuel Abdul. I'm from Federal University of Agriculture, studying animal genetics. For me, being here today is a very fun, very grateful. Just a few years back, I get admission on the graduate. For various reasons, especially my major concern for financial reasons, I just started working and then I just and at some point in time, that called me back, let's go this now. So I had the idea that if I'm going to go back to this now, full image, because about the passion of technology, I knew about it when I was training. I told it when we did that one thing. And at that point in time, I was very fascinated. I didn't even know such things existed in animal science. So I've actually had a passion concerning disease resistance in animals because I've seen very wonderful works done by my professors. Now Alpha and many other things in that regard. So having to come back into school has been quite challenging, trying to take courses that will give me practical experiences. I'm always on LinkedIn, having to provide it with schoolwork, a lot of theories and everything. And so having to see the marketing on LinkedIn, just like you are applying for many free courses and programs, applied for this one, so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to have this experience. Thank you very much.
My name is Scott. I am a 400 level student. So I saw this from okay. I've been trying to like look for direction how I'm going to move forward with my technology because the country per se, usually push us towards industry. That's not exactly what to go into industry. I wanted to go into play. So in trying to like find some information, I saw genomics and genomics as a possible path for me. So I was currently doing a course genomics. That's where I saw this hackathon from. When I saw it, I honestly did not expect. I didn't expect it like this. So then it's more into maybe theory and research, not exactly. Yeah, and when I got into it, I realized that oh, this aspect is also very interesting. But I didn't realize that it actually moves there in the way we are presenting it. They are very interested. So when I can't remember, I don't know if it was the second day of on the notes, and when I was listening, I was like, this tech things, I don't understand anything but say. I said, okay, no problem, this is an opportunity for me to learn and hopefully the people will come on site and I'll meet people that are into my research dream or whatever, and I'll speak. It is when I first saw it, I was like, I'm just entering. I don't think let me see, there's no reason for them to do it. Even till when I call them, I don't know why they picked you. I don't know if I tried it. Yeah, that's like the important thing. So I'm very happy and I'm very grateful for being here. at least I want this experience to be, I want to experience the fullest. When we're entering into it, I don't know if people that noticed me, I was visibly jumping because I did not, it was not what I expected. It's very, 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 very calm. And somehow the excitement is
Hello, my name is Samuel Oluwabi, and I am 50 years old in medicine from Norway University. This program, I had of it from, I was doing my meditation in Wesley Guild Hospital meditation. And I spoke to someone in just like a 5 minutes conversation. I told the person I'm interested in genomics, and she told her husband about sent clients, we sent the website to me, so and I was closing in 2, 3 days. And I applied, even that amount pressure on me quite a bit. Because I didn't have the skill set until I went through it and applied. And here we are, thankfully. My interest really is, I mentioned I'm a medical student, so my interest is, I want to be a surgeon and a scientist. So I have interest in genomics, and it's a great hackathon that brings XR, but all the actually virtual mixed and augmented reality, even the applications in medicine. So interested in the genomic laboratory, so I'm really looking forward to meet young minds like you, people who are brilliant and want to learn from them and see what we can do together. Thank you very much. Start by saying getting. Get please take it now. It's very, very exciting. How should I start? I was coming in and then I saw you. Honestly, still struggle to find it. When I was coming here, struggle. It's quite impressive that we have this kind of even Thailand things. And I believe I'm very student at and my interest, since there's just I would love to be able to apply to the finding therapies for most diseases. I got to learn of IGH through the training campaign. I saw and listened to something talking about system biology. So through that, I was able to just search and then I saw IGH and I kind of straight into the kind of. And then I came around, I went back to school, I told you just formed those kind of together. Quite frankly, we really take care of getting. But I mean, it's nice to be with him. You have to see my team. I'm looking forward to the activities together. Thank you. First, I would say, seeing everybody's face from very beautiful. Well, yeah, so my name is Christian. Christian B. No, Christian. Second year, I'm studying history and international relations. The 3D artist, I've been doing this for 3 years. And yeah, I enjoy building. I really enjoy building. So when I saw this hackathon, when I saw the opportunity, my mentor, where I started learning from, and I was like, okay, this is one of them I should focus for. I applied less than 24 hours. I got like an acceptance. There was an orientation that simply, I was like, actually, this thing that fast. So everything was really, fast paced. Down to when the hackathon started, it was still very fast because it never almost happened to me. they really, see, they did it strong. And it just made my online phase super difficult. I had to like do a lot of stuff in a very short period of time. But then I had like this nice thing, set of people in my team, they really had the best I've seen so far. Very encouraging, they really are putting in the work. They really have been doing their best as well. So it really got me pumped up to do my best as well. So I built models, I helped them very good. And thanks to God, I'm here today for the final phase. And yeah, I really am just ready to and then see what we get from this. I'm really open to the opportunity. I'm sorry to the to everything that we really would, to all of the activities for that. And I really look for the best. Facilities they really are the best we've seen so far. I equally expect like seeing the experience. So yeah, thank you very much.
Morning, everyone. Morning, sir, my fellow hackers. My name is Bam Rostin Daniel. I am a science resident of our wonderful Imaz University. IGH. A little while back, I read this article about who defines. They made an AI that could solve the protein sequence problem. And I'm kind of person that I really like the intersection between biology and artificial because I'm into artificial. So that really excited me. Then later on, I learned about this good place, ACEGID at the time. And I was like, ACEGID is in my backyard in Genomics University. I can't enter showers in my backyard. So I started stalking people on LinkedIn that work in ACEGID. And I came across one last Mrs. Amogi. To my surprise, she responded. So I was like, I really like it's like that. And she was really pleasant. She said, okay, we can organize an arrangement. People that didn't pass that lounge at this time. She brought someone up. I don't remember his name. I think he's Cameroonian. Talked to me about protein sequencing, AI and all that. So that was a really wonderful experience. Not too long ago, I started learning unit because I wanted to venture into a new field, artificial intelligence. So around that same time, I saw a friend send the flyer for the hackathon. I was like, this is like a wonderful coincidence. A Unity hackathon, and I'm learning Unity. Why not? So, and I'm someone that learns really quickly on that project. So I was like, even if I don't go that far, I'll learn Unity alone. So I signed up. It was stressful. I think content guy can attest to that. It was very stressful. And me being here is honestly just very upset because I'm not that experienced. So I'm really happy to see what goes on from here now.
Morning, everyone. So the millennials and to the Gen Zs, I think you're today. Thank you. My name is Daniel Kislayo. I'm a Unity developer and also a creative developer. Experienced like a lot of tech skills for modeling, animation, designing, app web, and everything. Like I'm more of like I'm a lack of any connection. Yeah, that's what I say. And I got the flyer through my mentor. And that's because I'm into XR and I founded a project that is called Enlighten VR, which is a virtual reality classroom that solves the the traditional classroom we have sit down, raise up your hand, that kind of. So I experienced something in high school that made me to like invent virtual reality. Virtual reality now became a project for me that I need to turn into a company. And in 2023, when Bill Gates came to Nigeria, he got to hear about me one way or another. And then it came down to Microsoft to meet me. And then we had like a private session, was asking some questions like, oh, so this. And from there, we started taking the project more. And in 2024, January, Anthony Blinken also came to Nigeria. And I just got a call on Sunday. I was like, this guy wants to see you. But blah, blah, blah. You know, a young girl doing things like that, like with the grace of God and great mentorship. So I got to meet Anthony Blinken also and also Kilani. And from there, I've been working closely with people like that to like continue creating extra free. So the hackathon I got it from my mentor, and when he shared it on the group, I just looked at it like, I don't know, because lately I'm receiving rejections steadily. I applied for a lot of things. There was a particular time I got like 15 rejection letters in 24 hours. So I saw the hackathon. I was like, let me apply. Just stop applying was because if I don't apply, the mentor will say, this is why you didn't apply. It's better to just apply and get rejected than you should not apply, that kind of thing. So they let me apply. So I applied and then the rest of 24 hours I got accepted. When I saw it, I was like, okay. But when I saw that it was on Discord, that was like the 2 weeks of, I'm not familiar with Discord like that. So like it was so stressful. I was like, should I just opt out? But then I have like a team of people and it's like it would be nice for me because I already have like a digital footprint. It would be nice for somebody starting online. And the guy said that opt out from another something like this. It's not going to be good for me. So I was like, let me at least put in my best foot. And then we started the hackathon process. So basically, the hackathon process has actually been very, really stressful. Content guide, I don't know, that's so stressful. And then the other guy also coming online, attendance, everything is just because clashing with my normal routine. Imagine attending class like 11 days, just go to back attend and you and it's summer period. So I train young people on tech also. So it's summer period, they're all in Europe. I need to be training them and started my classes and all. So it was really like it was clashing with what I was doing. And from there, when I got accepted, when we presented on Friday, I was not expecting to get like our team to get selected. But when they called out and they was like, oh, cool, let us see what I'm not a scientist, so I don't know about the scientist. So when I was coming, I was just expecting to just see, the general lab that I've seen in my second. I'm sorry, that was in my head. I've not seen the lab yet, but based on what I've seen here, and Gafa asked me, yes, what am I going to bring? I'm going to give a 10 over 10 to the person or to the coordinator that is in charge of the room. I would like the best. Oh my I'm very sorry by the end of this program, I get, oh, you're the one. Shut up. Oh, I can see why. Shout, I can see why. Thank you very much. I'm very friendly with you now. I'll get more experience around science and everyone. And it's so nice to see everything. Thank you very much.
Right. We've heard from all, and we're moving down to the next stage. Now, just a disclaimer, we've been accused of not doing this. And they are here verifying it live. That we'll be giving this to them. I hope you're safe. Now let's welcome Dr. Shola and Dr. Dayo. I hope you're prepared for that. Get the camera ready. They will orientate you before we. What you have to do, I want to be very careful. Thank you.
Once again, things have guys around 45. That means I just so you get to see how the next we see how they made our next 2000 look like a week. But you get to see. So this is the time when you get to see some of our equipment and some of the systems that we use to do groundbreaking work that we do. So right now we'll be picking 1 and 2, and that will divide us into groups. And that doing, I will be moving across the platform. So, 1.
So all wants to come to me and also to go with the Shalak. It's not from Somali. I all want
Hey, how are you?
So I'm going to have get to know around the people.
Change the video, right? I should buy
Yeah. Because it's also very fast. So it's not really. It's fast. Doesn't happen. What I said. After the group picture, we it's good.
Chooks, where my own?
Can we have this IT thing now? All of now, we ask me. All of we ask me.
All of from people online. You want to be wicked? I mean, you want to use it.
Yes, sir, Mr. Fikayo.